The candlelight wavered between us, its golden glow painting delicate shadows across her face. My wife, Lauren, looked breathtaking, the crimson dress accentuating her curves, her lips curling into that familiar, well-rehearsed smile, the same one that had captivated me a decade ago. But tonight, I saw it for what it truly was, a deception. We sat at our usual corner table in Marcel's, the restaurant that had been our tradition for every anniversary. Around us, soft murmurs blended with the chime of wine glasses and the distant laughter of other couples, wrapping the evening in an air of celebration. It was flawless, too flawless. I swirled the wine in my glass, the weight of 10 years pressing heavily on my shoulders. Something was wrong, a quiet unease settling over me like the eerie calm before a storm. Then she placed her fork down. "I've been cheating on you for 2 years." Her words didn't strike like a dagger, nor did they ignite a fire of rage. Instead, they landed softly, measured, deliberate, and final. A moment passed before she delivered the second blow. "I'm leaving you." Lauren leaned back, her gaze locked onto mine, waiting for the inevitable. Pain, denial, a desperate plea. She expected me to unravel before her eyes. Instead, I smiled and lifted my glass. "To your new life." For the first time, her polished composure cracked. Just for a fraction of a second. Just enough. And then the restaurant door swung open. The color drained from her face as her gaze landed on the last person she ever thought she'd see that night. Ethan. Her lover. My best friend. Lauren's breath caught in her throat. Her fingers tightened around the delicate stem of her wine glass. Slowly, she turned toward me, the horrifying realization dawning in her eyes. This wasn't a chance encounter. No, Lauren. This was no accident. But Ethan wasn't alone. Standing beside him was his wife, Julia. Her sharp green eyes swept across the restaurant, unaware of the storm about to tear her world apart. I had made sure of that. Lauren's lips parted, her voice barely a whisper. "Don't." A plea. But I was done offering mercy. I turned to Ethan, locking eyes with him, and raised my glass once more. Confusion flickered across his face, his brow furrowing. Then his gaze drifted to Lauren, and I watched his understanding drain the blood from his features. "Game on." "Hey, man." My tone was light, almost amused. What a surprise. Ethan hesitated, his body going rigid. Beside him, Julia frowned, her expression puzzled. Lauren's hand shot out, clutching my wrist. "Please," she whispered, panic lacing her voice. "Not like this." But that's the thing about betrayal. You don't get to choose how the truth unravels. I rose to my feet, extending a hand toward Ethan, gripping it firmly and shaking it with deliberate slowness. "What a coincidence running into you here," I said, my voice light yet weighted. Lauren and I were just celebrating our anniversary. Julia's face brightened. "Oh, happy anniversary." Lauren, on the other hand, looked as if she wanted to vanish into thin air. Ethan had already begun to unravel, his palm damp against mine. "Thanks," I continued, finally releasing his hand. Though things just got a little awkward. Lauren just admitted she's been having an affair with my best friend for the past 2 years. Silence fell like a heavy curtain. Lauren sucked in sharp breath. Ethan's mouth parted, stunned into speechlessness. Julia blinked, the words slowly poisoning her like venom seeping into her veins. Then, in a whisper, she turned to Ethan. "What?" Ethan swallowed hard, his expression twisted with panic. "Babe." I fixed my gaze on him, my tone quiet but razor-sharp. "Tell her." His face paled. I leaned in slightly, lowering my voice. "Tell your wife how long you've been screwing mine." Julia's hands trembled. Her eyes darted between me, Lauren, and Ethan, searching for an escape, a loophole in the moment's suffocating grip. But there was none. Lauren's nails dug into my wrist. "You don't have to do this," she whispered, desperation thick in her voice. I turned to her, my smile stretching wider. "Oh, sweetheart," I murmured, leaning in close, my breath grazing her ear. "I want to." Julia's face crumpled. Her voice was raw. "How long?" 2 years, I answered before Ethan could distort the truth into something more digestible. Lauren flinched. Julia inhaled sharply, her breath unsteady. 2 years. Ethan reached for her arm. It's not what you think, babe. Don't you dare call me babe, she snapped, yanking away from his touch. Her eyes shimmered with unshed tears, but beneath them, something stronger burned, a storm ready to break. Lauren pushed back from the table. We should go, she murmured, her voice shaky. A humorless chuckle escaped me. Oh no, you don't get to run. Please, Lauren whispered, her confidence crumbling, regret clouding her features. I tilted my head. Did you hesitate before sneaking off to hotels with my best friend? My voice cut through her like a blade, precise and unforgiving. She had no response. Julia let out a hollow, bitter laugh. I was worried about us, about you, Ethan, while all this time you were screwing her. Ethan's face drained of color. It was a mistake. I let out a sharp, incredulous laugh. 2 years isn't a mistake, it's a lifestyle. The restaurant had gone silent. Conversations had ceased. All eyes were now fixed on disaster unfolding before them. Slowly, I reached into my jacket pocket and pulled out a small black box. Placing it on the table, Lauren's eyes widened, momentarily mistaking it for a ring. It wasn't. I flipped it open. Inside sat a flash drive. All the proof is on here. I said evenly. Hotel reservations, text messages, photos. Ethan muttered a quiet curse. Julia's hands trembled as she reached for the drive. This is real, she whispered. Very. Lauren lunged for it, but I caught her wrist, my grip unyielding. Don't, I murmured. Tears welled in her eyes. Her voice wavered. You planned this. Damn right I did. Ethan turned to Julia, desperation creeping into his voice. Babe, we can fix this. No. Julia's tone was sharp, decisive, a blade severing the last remaining thread between them. Her fingers tightened around the flash drive, knuckles white. We're done. Lauren turned to me, her eyes pleading. And you? I exhaled slowly, standing tall. Oh, honey, I murmured, leaning in close. My voice was low, final. You lost me the moment you let another man touch you. Lifting my glass, I savored the taste of victory, the intoxicating flavor of justice, of freedom. To the ruins of what once was, I whispered in a quiet toast. Lauren's lips quivered. Ethan's shoulders sagged in defeat. Julia turned and walked away, exiting Ethan's life without a backward glance. I followed, and as the cool night air wrapped around me, a single truth settled over me like the first light of dawn. I wasn't broken. I was finally free,